All right, we are live with session 204 of a game that was arranged through the Gauntlet, which is a community on the internet that gets together and plays cool tabletop role playing games online. They do lots of stuff. You can find them at gauntlet-rpg.com, where there's a lot of cool stuff there. You got your blogs, you got some very cool forums, some very cool discussions happening on. There is the monthly zine they have, Codex, which has cool supplements to original games and original games as well. Checking out there, and of course, there's also the Hangouts calendar, which this game and all games played in Gauntlet is arranged. You believe the average like what 150, 180 sessions a month? That's ridiculous. Check that out if you want to play with us and play this sorts of games. This game in particular is Good Society by Story Brewers Role Playing, which is Haley Gordon and V. Hendro. It is a Jane Austen RPG, which is exactly what it says in the tin, but we're doing more than that. We're using one of their supplements, the Pride, Prejudice, and Practical Magic supplement, the magic supplement. So we get to do spells and pay for the consequences of doing those spells. Whoosh. That's my magic sound effect. Let's introduce our players first. We'll get to characters in a bit, but let's kind of introduce our players first. It's that we for 1 week we don't have one of our players, but we still have an awesome crew of players, and just I should introduce myself first, right? As an example. My name's Leandro. I use he him pronouns, and I don't have anything to plug. Check out next month. I might have something to plug next month, but I don't have anything at the moment. So let's go by the reverse order of what I see here on the screen. Yoshi, would you kindly introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Yoshi. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm going to be playing Lydia today, specifically Lydia Willoughby. She uses she, her, 37, an unmarried woman in good standing with the College of Wizardry. She believes that I believe that I deserve to inherit my family's fortune because my no-good brother, who is older than me, is just shamefully throwing it away and disgraced in the College of Wizardry. And so I am, as the proper upstanding person, should be the one who inherits, despite the fact that women tend to not inherit in this society.
Good luck with that. We'll see how Lydia gets on. Up next in my screen here, Sabine, would you kindly introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Sabine. I use any pronouns. And plugging things. I will plug the Hearts of Woollin Kickstarter, which is in its final hours. And if you like wuxia and drama and fighting and fun and drama and melodrama, you should check it out. It's awesome. It's really awesome. It's on a Kickstarter, and I'm pretty sure Leandro will put a link on it under this video. I am going to play James Willoughby, who is 47. He is, he used to be in quite good standing because his family been with the order for a while, until he, in some kind of enthusiastic brainlessness, he accidentally shifted his friend's house into maybe the fairy realm, at least partly. It was a huge disaster, and he's been a bit disgraced ever since. But, well, he still has his lovely younger sister who he's quite proud of. She will make a fine wife to somebody eventually when she finds love, which I hope she will, because, love conquers all. I'm also a widower. My wife died quite a while ago. I have a young son who's at boarding school. I'm not too happy about that, but it's what one does, isn't it? Father said I should, so I am doing that. Lately, I have been having these weird dreams of ballrooms and balls and masquerades even, and there's always the same person. I think it's a woman. I don't know who she is. I don't know what it means, but I'll find out. Maybe. And then I'll blow something up.
Well, you don't have to blow something up, but
No, I won't. I'm sorry. No.
okay, all right. Just so we're clear, you don't have to. It can happen. But yes, it's down below for the Kickstarter. Check out Hearts of Woolen. I've never played it, but I hear it's good. All right. Last but not least, Pearl. You kindly introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Pearl. I use she, her pronouns. I am also very sleepy, but that just goes to show you how much I love the gauntlet and the players who are here, because I usually will not get up before noon for basically anything. So it is a sign of how wonderful everybody here is that I am present in whatever capacity I can be. And I was also going to point towards the Kickstarter, but I feel like Sabine took care of it quite nicely. The Gauntlet has taken good care of me since I joined a month and a bit ago during a hard time, so you should take good care of it and get a good game in the process. I should introduce you to my character. I think that's the next thing that happens, probably. So I will introduce you to Emma Linsome in a moment. She's a she and her pronouns. She's 27, and she is a new arrival in Habershire. So a lot of people don't really know much about her yet, but we're all going to find out. So let me introduce you to Emma now. Hello, I'm Emma, and it's so lovely to make your acquaintance. I've only recently moved here, but everyone's been really kind so far, and I'm just really looking to meet all kinds of people, and maybe put down some roots and set up a life here. My circumstances changed a bit where I was living previously, and in a nice way in many ways. But I found that the reactions of people around me made me think that perhaps I wasn't valued for me there the way that I would like to be valued by the people in my life. And so I've come here, and I think I'm going to just keep to myself the things that have changed until I've had a chance to get to know people. And if they seem to have genuine care for me as I am, then perhaps I can reveal a little bit more of my circumstances. But in the meantime, I've been enjoying just, going around to meet various people at various functions, and everyone's been really lovely. I met a fellow named Ellie at a parlor concert who has been exceptionally kind since, and I get a bit reserved with people who are immediately very kind based on some previous experiences. But if he is as kind as he seems, I wouldn't mind seeing more of him sometime. But generally, I'm just getting a feel for the culture here and for how the society functions, and I'm grateful everyone's been so kind, and they don't even know much about me. And I mean, there are some things to know about me that might give some people pause, but they're not bad. Just misunderstood sometimes. Anyway, I don't mean to ramble on. I'm sure you're all very busy. So I just wanted to say thank you for having me here today. And again, I'm Emma Linsome. And I'm just looking forward to getting to know everyone so much. So thank you.
Thank you very much for that introduction. Yeah, I can't wait to meet more of Emma and her would-be suitors and her mysterious nature and her well, who knows? Who knows? She didn't say anything. She didn't say anything. She must have no mysterious natures. Who knows? Yeah, I should introduce my characters. I also have a character. I'm no mere facilitator. I'm also a player, but I'm also the facilitator, I guess. Sadly, I don't have an introduction like that, mainly because my character, dear Cordelia Stride, is a bit of a downtrodden one. Silly player, Jesus Christ. Cordelia uses she her pronouns. She's 21, the youngest of this motley crew of characters. She's a tutor from a family of ill repute. The Strides are just scandal ridden throughout generations of dealings with otherworldly stuff. She's an illegitimate child as well. There's rumors that she's not really she's really just been taken by Stride. She's not really of their own. It's more of an adoption sort of thing. She's kind of someone who's lived their life in kind of a tragic stance, I guess. She's someone who really would like something different, something better. I have it written down. Again, this I don't know where the sentence came from. Lives her life waiting for a Joseph Campbell plot structure to suddenly fit into her life because surely she could have something a bit better than one right now. Basically, she wants to be. I think they used the term. I used the phrase. She wants to be Harry Potter. Is because I've not read Austen. So she's the kind of one who actively wants like a better life, and so she's kind of imagined that like she was abandoned for like mysterious reasons, or her parents are like someone terribly cool. She has figured out her mother. I think that's kind of one of the how desires go. She's certain of her mother's identity, just not certain of their character, but yes, exactly, there must be more than this provincial life. That's Cordelia, hoping she wants adventure in the great wide somewhere. But at the moment she's working as a tutor, who's fine. Teaches her pupils that magic is something to be cherished and used rather than hoarded, and certainly believes in something nicer. That's what she's looking out for. Let's also introduce everyone's connections because we're all playing a bunch of secondary characters as well. We've got 2 each, and yeah, I think we'll go by the same order we went before. Yoshi, which characters are you playing? And yeah, even if they're connected to someone who's not here, you just shout them out because yeah, we are missing one character, but still, we'd like them out there on the screen.
Yeah, I'm playing Serena Gray, which is connected to James, who's the old friend of James, whose house got blown up. I am also playing Hattie Mutton Chop, which is a wonderful name, who is a childhood friend of Emma and Emma Linsome. And so I'm not sure if I know the true nature of Emma or not, but we've been old friends. And so clearly she is trustworthy.
I don't know. Emma seems nice. A brief moment we met her. She seems perfectly lovely, and there are no skeletons in her closet. No, it's not really more a skeleton, more like just a thing. Oh, we'll get to that. Sabine, who are your connections?
Oh, okay. Wait, give me a sec to find out who I'm playing. I am playing Charlotte de Boer. Charlotte de Boer. We have another character, Percy Peter Pertwee, who is English, right? Who is a peer of a influential family that fell on hard times. His parents went away to the jungle in the search of the Philosopher's Stone, and he got left with nothing much. He's currently living with Willoughbys, and Charlotte de Boer, she was his fiancée before the whole Philosopher's Stone incident, and then her family was like, well, we are not really engaged to this person. Maybe we should find someone with better prospects. And maybe she could, but she kind of still likes him. She's not really deeply in love, but she kind of likes him, I guess. If only he was rich and influential again, then that would be fine. And I'm playing Oswald Lucan, who is Cordelia's troublesome pupil. He is 22, and he's the son of an Irish peer. Please don't expect me to do any kind of Irish accent because I can't. He has come to Habershire? Yeah, he's come to Habershire to learn about magic, and well, he kind of likes Cordelia and thinks she's pretty smart and everything, but of course she's got this terrible, terrible family, and well, a pity really. Yeah, that's Oswald. I think he's a bit, maybe like superficious. Is that a word? No. Yes, it is. Okay, thanks. Sorry, it's Friday evening. It's not my time.
No worries, no worries. We got it's Friday, so we're bedding in. Don't worry if don't worry if you don't like get characterizations right. Like, who cares? Not that no people shouldn't care, but like, you know, we're here to have fun. Especially I do need to apologize because I think I've rewritten Oswald's personality section like 3 times in the past week, so that's my bad. Pearl, yeah, the connections you're playing.
I am playing. One of them is Clara Harper. It's Cordelia's friend from Oxford, who is 23. And I am actually a journalist for a specialist magical magazine for ladies. And I really feel that Cordelia, who's so smart, but just bless her heart, she's just a bit naive, you know. If she could just get out of her head and into the real world, I think she could, you know, maybe make something of herself a bit more. You know, she and I are a bit different in many ways, but like me, she's got a bit of a sarcastic bent occasionally, and it comes out in my writing, and I assume it would in hers as well. But so I just consider her to be a very dear friend, and I'm looking forward to when she comes out of her shell a bit more and realizes that instead of tutoring, she should be, you know, just quietly taking over the world with me, perhaps. So that's Cordelia. Nope, sorry. That's Clara, Cordelia's friend. I'm also playing Helen Gardner, who is Jonathan's old nanny and a witch. So, you know, I still talk to James, and I try to talk about magic and just give him a bit of a nudge to break with the order, but you know, his father is resistant, and children, they're so influenced by their parents, but he's just such a talented man, and I just want the best for him. You know how it is. 47 is young. You know, when you have magic to help you out, I think he's got many good years left in him. And I'll be here to look out for him, and you know, make a tonic or two until he's ready to fully embrace his potential. You know, that's what we all want, we nannies and such, is for the people that we raise to grow up and become just the wonderful people we know them to be. So it's lovely to meet you all. I'd love to have you for tea sometime. But until then, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'm bad with names, so I'll say my name again, just in case you forget. I'm Helen Gardner, Jonathan's old nanny.
Note to self: make sure I go before Pearl, so I don't have to follow her. Yeah. So my connections I'm playing, one of them is connected to the aforementioned Peter Pertwee, his childhood friend, Captain Lysander Wentworth, who is a soldier in the magical division of the British Army. He's 26, tall, strong, visits Percy often, may have been promoted too soon, and he thinks that Percy is utterly wrong about that fine and beautiful lady, Lydia Willoughby. I really don't know why he he believes that Lydia is out to ruin him for all he's worth. I don't know where this rivalry came from. It's farcical. I really don't know why he mistrusts it so much. Like, what is Percy just jealous, paranoid? I don't know. It's hard to say. Although for our audience, the reason why Captain Lysander is quite suspicious of his friend's mistrust of Miss Lydia Willoughby is partially because he's also quite besotted over Miss Willoughby, and yeah, a bit of projection going on there from the dear captain, but he seems like an amiable chap. Although the last friend that dear Percy has left, and yeah, my other connection is the aforementioned Ellie Wilson, a mysterious sort, a brilliant musician, talented, fierce, just intelligent. He's a bit of an enigma. Our dear Ellie, and seems to me that Emma is already quite terribly interested. And there might be some mutual appreciation there, but we'll play to find out. For sure. Oh yes, Kohl eyeliner and cape. I nearly forgot about the eyeliner and the cape. That's how mysterious and extravagant, and just in a town like Habershire, Ellie pops out for sure. All right, composer, a proper Renaissance man, composer, musician, incredible thinker. Yeah. No pressure on having to play him. All right, so before we get into play, let's talk about safety first, because it's always good to have that conversation. Make sure folks know what tools we have to make sure we're playing in a safe and comfortable environment. First off, we have, we kind of went through it all before broadcast. The Comes with Good Society part of the collaboration is their anything our game should avoid, and we've got this there. I've already asked the folks to reread them, but I'll ask them again just to keep those in mind. We're also using the X card, so basically if we roll into a scene, makes folks feel uncomfortable for whatever reason, and it could be any reason, and yeah, any reason's fine. You can say you want to X that, or you want to X card that, either on the screen or in the chat, and I might ask some questions on what's being X-carded, or I might ask some question what exactly is being X-carded, but no one gets the question if it's used. If it's played, and we'll roll back and try something else. And finally, we have an open door policy. So, for whatever reason, at any time in the game, whether because of an emergency, whether because you're more tired than you thought and you need a breather, or even if you need to go for like 5 minutes, like say you've drank too much water in too quick so the succession, like I have. Here we go. Less than half already. Jesus Christ. Either that or something else. We can pause the game and we'll let you take your break, and you can do that at any time. Okay, I will say actually, like in about 2 hours time, I will need to get out of the game for a bit just to let someone in because someone forgot their keys. I'll just mention it as a warning in like 2 hours. So I might abruptly have to go, but I'll just say open door. That's part of it. Okay, so let's just get into Good Society. So Good Society, the game is made up of different phases, and the first phase in this cycle, which cycles are made up of phases. The first phase is the novel chapter. And this is novel chapter is just the big role play, all the characters well, not role play, characters, role playing scene where characters interact, have fun, banter, intrigue, mystery, and all that. So there are three kinds of novel chapters. There's the event, which is big event where everyone's kind of in the same place. It's quite common, parties, picnics, theater outgoings, meetings. No, that sounds boring. Oh, shit! I'm so scatterbrained. It's a Friday. What we should have done before going to Null Factory, we should have picked factions, because I forgot about that. We should have done that. I'm terribly sorry. Let's pick our factions. So we have two: the College of Wizards, which I've made the Oxford jokes off broadcast. Hierarchical, the stuffy House of Lords type folks, and the local Witches Association. Friendly insular community group looking out for folks. There's like descriptions in their faction sheet. Yeah. So College of Wizardry is about being amongst illustrious peers and admires public figures. Grandeur and ceremony, which is also a bit of a sign of insecurity for them. It's about being powerful. Local Witch Association, about who's behind the social calendar of any village. They're benevolent, but it's hard to change their ways because they're part of the community. Which of your main characters? Which faction do you think they are? I guess I'll start with myself. I put Cordelia definitely in the local Witches Association because I don't think the college would let someone of her background in. Anyone can just jump in if you want. Go on, you.
Yeah. Yes. I'll go. Lydia is definitely associated with the College of Wizardry. I am a member of good standing, and my brother is not, and that is clearly an important deal.
I'm still a member, though. I mean, I'm not in good standing, maybe, but I am a member of the college because our father has been, and there was never any question if that I would be too. So I am, and the fact that I'm talking to a witch means that she makes nice tea and nothing else.
I think I'm just really too new in town to be in with a college, and I am looking to meet people. So I thought joining the local Witches Association would be a perfect place to go and have a tea or something and get to know the locals. So I don't know much about it yet, but it seems like a really nice community. So I'm looking forward to going to more functions. All that stuff.
Cool. All right. So we all each of our factions. Now we need to pick a leader for each, for at least the local chapter of each of those factions. Could be a main character or it could be a connection. If you think any of the connections we have are fine leaders, and feel free to nominate characters that I can have as well.
Yeah, I might nominate our daddy. Our father, our dear papa, Thomas Willoughby.
Yeah, I don't see anyone else fitting that. We always need a granite hewn patriarch to rage against. So
I think that Ellie would be involved with the college, because I think part of Ellie's mysteriousness is probably that he's very seriously studying magic and in inventive ways. So I imagine he would have a scholarly bent to his approach rather than a tea-based approach.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll put him down as one of the members. Who will be the leader of the local Witches Association in dear Habershire? I think.
I think it would be hilarious if it was either Serena or Helen.
Serena is in the college, so it can't be her.
Can't be her. Then Helen. I think it would be great if it were Helen.
Cool. That makes sense. Yeah. So the thing with being a leader, because Helen Sofair is here, is they're kind of responsible for driving that faction's desire. Their behavior will influence the faction reputation, and they can pass decrees once you're able to do that. We'll get to that when we get to like faction phase. That's a bit later, but no, not faction phase, but like there's an addition to stuff. We'll get to that. We'll get to it. We don't have to look into it now because it's this a bit of explanation, and I might not have reread that section in quite so recent time. Just being honest, honesty is a great policy amongst friends. All right, so back to novel chapter. Finally get there. So yeah, there's three types. There's the event where everyone's all together. There is the visiting where it's just some short scenes of folks, just pairing up characters with characters, talking to them. And there's the split or a parallel where there's like two events happening at once, and we kind of jump back and forth between them. For starting out a series, it's always good to like just go for a big event, so everyone's kind of in the same place and interact and whatnot. How does that sound, folks?
Maybe some kind of Halloween feast.
Ooh, some sort of Hallows Eve feast. Okay. Yeah, or some sort of like summer festival, because I don't know. I'm not feeling Halloweeny right now, sitting here in June.
Midsummer's Eve.
Yeah. I think some sort of Midsummer's Eve like festival. Maybe it is kind of like maybe in the Habershire Square or something like that. Is that too inviting? Do we need to like be a bit more exclusive?
Or maybe there is a festival in the village, and then there's also a festival for the upper class behind in some sort of house, someone's house, maybe even the Willoughby house, because Thomas Willoughby would throw a grand party to show his stature, I believe.
Yeah, and I think yes, Thomas Willoughby. That sounds right, and I do like. I'll ask either of you why he doesn't show his face. Either the Willoughby siblings, why he doesn't show up in this party that he's thrown. But yeah, he can totally be there. Let's kind of paint the scene a bit of this Willoughby household. Now imagine because it's kind of festivalish. There's an outside portion, and obviously there's inside stuff in the mansion as well. But so give me like a detail of the scene that makes it like not just magical, but like the this kind of respectable magic that the College of Wizardry professes, because part of the college's desire for this playset is prevent the unlicensed use of magic. So what's like a detail of this party that's not just magical, but like the college's preferred sort of magic?
Could there be, as one of the entertainments for the evening, like a small contest for who could do the best spell or conjuring or weaving or whatever we want to say with magic to produce a given effect that would just be for show, but you'd have to like have a lot of magical knowledge to pull it off well?
Yeah, I'm imagining it's the sort of thing, or like someone does a presentation of like, oh, here's how these crystals work and produce an effect, and a bunch of like old men with snifters full of brandy are be like, oh, most magical, quite spectacular. Yeah, definitely. I think there's some sort of contest there, and we're gonna have to figure out if any of our PCs are involved in that contest. Oh, dear.
So what that's reminding me of is totally like book 4 of Harry Potter, like the Goblet of Fire, is that like there's got to be like some like topiary like maze or something, and that we have to like go to the center of the thing, but like you can't get caught using magic. You can use magic, but you can't get caught using magic.
Yeah, that makes sense. Go.
I'm thinking of the servants, and for this evening, all the servants have off, so they can go and celebrate. Instead, dinner and food and drinks are served by animated clothing. So the heavier stuff is carried by two old armors from knight armors, and the drinks, the champagne flutes, are served by tuxedos.
That's really cool. And I'm going to use facilitator's privilege, which I'm inventing now, to not have to add a detail to this. I'm sorry. All right. So I want to know, before we start thinking about who you want to be interacting with in this scene. I'm just gonna say most folks are probably up for grabs in terms of who's here. And remember your desires. At least that's something to push towards. But while you're thinking about that, also I do want to know when the camera or the camera of this fairly expensive but about to be canceled BBC TV show, when it cuts to your character, what do we see kind of in this party? Like for Cordelia, I'm thinking that she's not meant to be in this party. I'm kind of thinking she snuck in. I'm kind of thinking so right now she is trying her best to blend in her hand-me-down, one of the elder strides, Elspeth, cast off summer dresses, and is kind of clutching a flute of champagne very tightly and trying to make it look like she fits in. She might be conversing with a few too many animated suits of armor in her nervousness.
So I'm wondering if the fete's sort of been put on by the college, right?
Mhm.
And I've joined the local witches association, but I am new in town and don't really have strong loyalties in any direction. Do we think that I would be invited to the party because maybe people don't know what my ability level is yet, and perhaps the college would hope to court me to the other side? Because I'm thinking I'm there. Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, my other solution was that you were invited by the musical
Ellie?
accompaniment. Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably there providing the entertainment.
And I was
Could be
thinking,
either. Could be both, actually.
yeah, perhaps Ellie has mentioned to other members of the college that it seems like perhaps the new arrival in town has some more magic up her sleeve, as it were, than people know yet, and it might be good to sort of court that early on. And whether or not that's true, he would probably say it, but it is true also. So I think if you were to see a quick cutscene of what Emma is doing, I think she and Ellie have declined to enter the maze thing contest, but are in fact just outside the maze, causing trouble for everyone else with small spells where no one can see them. They're both actually quite adept in magic and not of the sort that is typically used. So people wouldn't even really figure out quickly that it was probably people doing it, because they make up their own spells, and that's one of the ways they've connected. And yeah, they're just sitting outside the hedge maze and giggling and
That's lovely.
I think that leads directly to me. You see Lydia, who is standing very upright and straight at a balcony, overlooking, just trying to survey every the whole scene type thing. I think her outfit is a summer dress that it's probably a pale color, like a light green with darker green stem and flowers embroidered onto it and things like that. And so you have these embroidered flowers that are kind of on the pale green background. And she's definitely surveying and looking over everything, trying to find somebody that must be hiding because they're supposed to be here and I can't see them in plain view. And so you can see like a little bit of like that, like her brow is a little bit furrowed as she's like trying to like look carefully and find this missing person.
I think, in contrast, James is actually, he knows many of these people. Yes, his reputation is not the best, but that doesn't actually, well, he's a bit more, wait, what I said, he was a bit more shy. So he is lingering a bit on the outskirts, trying not to draw too much attention to himself, but you can see that he really wants to talk to people. And Lydia and anybody who knows him well knows that this reticence will last maybe an hour at tops, unless their father steps in and sends him into the maze because and he kind of dreads that because he was always pretty good at stuff like that, but yeah, well, if the maze ends up in fairyland, that wouldn't go over too well.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. All right, so we've reached an hour of where we are, so let's take our first break. Let's come back at the half-hour mark. That's okay with folks?
Sure. I can't
Cool.
believe it's been an hour. That was like the
Yeah.
fastest hour ever.
Yeah, no, yeah. Time flies when you're having fun. Actually, let's bump that to a full 10 minutes. So think of
35?
yeah, 10 minutes. BRB. Remind me, neither of you have played the magic, this magic supplement, right?
I have not.
I have played Good Society several times, but mostly in the base game. The one difference is I played a modern version in Taiwan with a full cast of Asian.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. That's the Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, we did the Crazy Rich Asians one, and so that was a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played this Good Society straight up. It's always either supplements or like the Crazy Rich Asians ones. Like they did that. They did a Cat Ramen Tolstoy one, which was beautiful and tragic as always. Okay, so we're all here. We're all back. We're all rested. I've refilled. All right, so we're back in this party again. The way like again role playing in Good Society with the novel phases is fairly free form. It's very much a who do you want to be interacting with whom. So and people can shout out suggestions if they want. But yeah, if any of you got like suggestions who do you want to be talking, who do you want to be have a scene with first?
I've got ideas if no one's got anything. Cool. So I think this is totally me. You see me up on the balcony, like brow furrowed, obvious looking for somebody that I cannot find. And then I spot my dear brother, James, who like I go down to where James is. Where were you again, James?
I think I am at the outskirts of the party, standing there, looking for somebody I can talk to safely. And I look quite relieved when I see you, actually.
Yeah.
James has also managed, you saw him an hour ago and he was perfect. Everything was great, and now his hair is mussed, some of his cravat is hanging not like it should be. There is something on his sleeve. He just always managed to be slightly disheveled. Not gross, but like kind of, I don't know, uncaring about the appearance thing, really.
So like I think you see like as you see me come up, and like at first my face is like, oh yeah, there's my brother, I need to talk to him. And then like I get a closer look at your appearance, because maybe like as I get closer I realize how disheveled it actually is. And so like I think I like my pace slows down a little bit, and you see me like tapping the sides of my dress, and obviously it has pockets because we can do whatever we want. So it's got pockets, and like you see me like pull out like a little like lapel pin type thing or something like that, and I come up and like gently like straighten things out and like attach this like little like pin to like where it would get like the lapel. And like the rest of your clothes like like immediately like straighten out and dampen and like become less disheveled as like I fuss with your clothing, and I'm like, brother, like it's a good party, but like, and then like I glance towards the hedge maze. I'm like, I've been looking. You've heard the rumors of this Emma Linsome, right?
I have not. Should I have heard rumors of her?
Well, there's this. She's in the town, and I mean, we at the college definitely believe that maybe she is worthwhile. We're not really sure, but I wanted to talk to her and really get a feel for her capabilities and whether she would be suited for the college or not. But I can't seem to find her. And I like glance back at the hedge maze, and I'm like,
maybe she's in the maze.
You used to like win this thing regularly when we were kids. Like,
yeah.
Do you think like maybe you could go in there and see if you could find this Emma? And like it's not a big deal. Like nothing in there is dangerous. We send the kids in there. You'll be fine.
Oh, I'm not that worried. I'm just I'm just worried. I heard that Selena was going to do the hedge thing this year, and I really don't want to upstage her or get her in her way in any way. Yay, great. Now I can't talk anymore. Thanks, Lydia, for the pin. I don't know what I would do without you.
Oh, I am here for our family because our family is so important, and you are a part of that. And making you look good and upstanding is a very important thing for us since we're hosting this party.
Yes, I get it. I'm sorry. Oh, and he's running his head through his hair again, and of course makes a mess out of it a bit.
And you see me just sort of like almost like cringe as like I see you messing your hair up again, and I just like roll my shoulders and take a deep breath, and I'm like, okay. It will be fine, James. Like you can go in there and find this Emma Linsome, and you don't have to upstage anybody. You just have to wander around, and like you've got a tracking spell or two. I'm sure you can do this just fine.
I have never seen this Emma Linsome. So I know nothing about her. I mean, my tracking spells only work better if I know the person, you know that.
Well, I've got confidence in you that you're such a wonderful wizard that you can figure something out.
I have an idea, actually. Have you seen the cat?
And I pause and I'm like, yeah, the cat was upsunning itself on the balcony just a little bit ago.
Yeah, I need the cat. And James is going to go and look for the cat.
I think you leave me with like just a confused look on my face. I'm like, what is going on?
Well, yeah. It's a variety. It's a variation of the mace spell, actually. But yeah, it needs a ball of yarn ball. I don't know what this is in English, but you know what I mean, right?
So are you casting a spell, or do we want to get to that later, or do you want to see how spell casting works?
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to see how spell casting works.
Okay, so
I want to find this person.
All right, so it's relatively simple. If you go to the spellcasting table on the bottom right, and everyone might as well go there so you can see this. So you've got two choices. You can either pay a resolve token, which means your magic is successful and resolves more or less as intended, or you can receive a resolve token, but your magic's gonna have a significant drawback or complication. So, are you willing to pay or to receive? So here's a new way for folks to get resolve tokens and complicate the story.
That's really lovely. Oh, I think.
You also started with an extra resolve token. I'll point that out, James.
Yes, it's true. I think at this point I'll get more chances to muck it up sooner or later. I want this to work because I want to talk to Emma, actually.
Okay, so your magic's successful and resolves more or less as intended. So the player of the magic's target, in which case Pearl, you'll get to choose one question for James to answer in the left table. So you can choose,
There are so many tables. Spellcasting table on the left table. Okay.
Yes.
So I ask Sabine one of these questions. Is that correct?
Yeah, because you're the target of their spell.
James is looking for
for
Emma.
What does the magic demand for you or make you promise?
Okay, so what the magic actually looks like is that, as I said, it's a variety of the mace spell. It's a weird one because actually the mace spell usually uses this ball of yarn and you throw it and then you just follow the strand to your target. In this case, James is using also a cat because he doesn't know Emma. But cats are good at finding stuff that they're not actually supposed to find. So there is this ball of yarn, and then there's this cat. But James has to get the cat to hold still for at least the time that he summons up the magic. So what is going to happen is the cat is not actually all that happy in the beginning to run around and be a magic receptacle. So James will have a few scratches, and his clothing will be, despite Lydia's best intentions, will be a little bit scruffed. I mean, it looks fine, but there are cat scratches on it, and there's one on his hand. It's bleeding a little. He's dabbing at it with the handkerchief. Like, oh my god, what did I do? But the spell is working fine, and now he's trying to walk dignified after a cat. That doesn't work that great, because he has to run after the cat, and he's not a young guy anymore, so he's a bit out of breath. And I don't know where you are when the cat. There's this cat, and there's this red ball of yarn, and the cat is batting that at you, and then it sits down confusedly and stares at you and goes up.
Do you want actually like do you want like Emma, I'm gonna ask, do you want like a scene with whoever you're with before the cat finds you, or do you want to just go cut straight to the cat finding you?
I think either I'd like to have a bit of the scene with Ellie before or after. I don't have a preference for when it happens, but I like the idea of there being a scene with them messing with the hedge maze, and sort of connecting over their non-traditional use of magic. Maybe some other things might be accidentally revealed in moments of mirth. I imagine. So I'm fine with it happening right away. If that scene can happen later, if it should happen first, I would want to have a bit of it first. So
I think it might be a nice idea if it happened after or while you're at messing with a maze with Ellie, and so you can play with Ellie for a bit, and then this cat shows up and meows at you.
Okay.
So Leandro, you're Ellie, right?
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, I know. I have to follow up David. At least last time I saw Ellie. Yeah. So I want to know first, how are you like conducting magic, so to speak? Because
so we decided for our magicings, we mainly use crystals, potions, embroidery, and perfumes.
Yeah, that's kind of like what magic requires mostly. But like we said, that doesn't mean the other stuff in that drop down isn't up for grabs. But it's up to you.
I think that is how most people use magic, but Emma and Ellie are going in a different direction with theirs when no one's looking. So I think Ellie has a wand that looks like a conductor's baton.
That was exactly what I was thinking of.
And Emma has found a way to cast magic through just like hand motions and small incantations. And why she's able to do that when many other people aren't is a bit of a mystery to those who have seen her do it, which is there very few people have seen her actually do that. But so they are trading as people go by the section of the maze that they can kind of see into. They are trading ways to sort of prank the maze goers and seeing who can, in non-harmful ways. They have no desire to harm anyone or even particularly delay them. You know, like it's not malicious, but what they are trying to do is see who can make the other one giggle loudly enough that someone in the maze will hear it and they will have to like run off. Ellie, what's your first spell?
Oh, God, you're putting me on blast. I think this particular, let's see, putting me on blast. Oh God, I'm not a prankster. That's me, Leandro, saying this. Ooh.
Oh, I know you are.
I'm a jokester, but not a prankster.
Well, I guess
Let's see.
you could forfeit.
Ah. Oh, are you talking to Ellie or talking to me?
I'm talking to Ellie. I, Emma, am talking
Yeah,
to Ellie.
okay. I think, yeah, Ellie has this like serene sort of like, like smile, as he says, "Well, by all means, then, if you do please yourself to be such a master of wit, demonstrate for me."
Well, whether or not I'm a master of wit, I was challenging you to a game of prank magic. I think you're deflecting. Surely you
Pointing
can
out
use that.
deflection is itself a kind of deflection.
No, I challenged you. You have your composer's wand. We both know what it really is. Can you or can you not do something interesting? Look, there's one of the party goers just coming around the bend in the maze. If you peer like right between these two branches here, I don't think they can see through, but you have enough time if you come up with a spell quickly to do something. And your job is to make me laugh loudly enough that I would give us away, and my job is to resist. Can you do it?
Well, I can endeavor to try, my dear. And he's gonna take out his conductor's wand. And I think what you and he's gonna like start conducting. It's almost like he taps on like an invisible sort of stand, and then just like carefully, like just delicately, like soothe the winds or magic in the air, and it's directed towards this let's see, who's our target. I'm imagining some walrus of a man, not a literal walrus, but it's mutton chops. Big Belly probably owns some land that he's never
Like James Harvey Worthington,
been to.
Esquire, or something.
Yes. James Harvey Worthington. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Yoshi. So you unmute there?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Sabine, I will totally give you a resolve token to have this person that is coming around the bend be James.
Oh, of course. I mean, they just said James, of course. Yes. I take that resolve token. I love resolve tokens.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that is basically how resolve tokens work. If people want to affect the fiction, because we don't roll dice. So say it usually involves like giving tokens to people, but sometimes you say like, "Hey, I want to make it rain so we can trap trap each other in this manner, so we have to talk to each other, or induce a Colin Firth shirt scene at any time." Not that you probably don't need that because you have magic, but
Okay, so
yeah.
it's James now. So I'm gonna retcon what I said about it being some fellow. Say,
Okay.
oh goodness, I think it's James. James Willoughby. Well, you'd better make it good because I want a chance to get my turn in. Chop chop, huh?
He keeps raising an eyebrow at you as he's still kind of conducting. Ah, God, no, I have to think of something out of character. Oh, you, James, you have an idea?
James
Sabine, what's
appears
gonna
to.
happen?
Yeah, James is looking for something. That's pretty clear. He's looking around like, where is that cat? Kitty. And he says, Kitty.
Just
I'm
compliment
honestly
him
out
or
of
something. Good heavens, he's gonna be past before we have our chance.
character. I'm actually like drawing a blank on what to. Oh, okay. Do you really want just a cat?
I'm
Sure.
throwing it out there because we don't have time to hem and haw. James is a
is part of it.
My
skilled
alternate
user of magic. He'll get through the maze.
My alternate proposal is to turn James either into a mouse or to be scented of catnip. So the cat that was running away now suddenly is constantly pestering James.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
Great use of magic, certainly.
Yeah, I think yes. Once probably when James says kitty, that's when the spell kind of like. And I'm not sure what the rule is for secondary characters or casting spells. Sometimes if it's like not big enough, like if it's just a prank, it just can happen because we live in a magic society.
I'd say
So yeah,
it was part of the token that Yoshi gave me that the spell just happens. I would stipulate that this is not the cat that he is searching for, because that's the cat that's supposed to find Emma, and that was his spell. But it maybe is another cat, or two other cats, or even three.
there can be multiple cats.
There are
in
lots
this
of cats.
phase. Yeah, so yes, I will take Yoshi's suggestion, and he just like raising eyebrows, like, "Fine, my dear." And he just he can when he conducts the music, it is just like, yeah. And James, you smell it on yourself as well, I guess, James. The scent of catnip stinging in the air, and Ellie just goes, "Wait for it," and he directs another flick, and I think the maze hears a cacophony of purring and meowing coming from all corners, and I'll let someone else describe what happens to James.
Was your spell? You go and describe.
I don't want to. I'm giving someone the reins if they want to describe what happens to poor James.
I'll jump in.
As this.
Oh goodness,
Oh.
Ellie, you didn't. And we're seeing like multiple cats starting to come out of nowhere. Like just way more cats, I think, probably than you even anticipated. Ellie, for Pete's sake, it was supposed to be a prank. How's he go? There are like 20 cats.
Well, pardon me for not taking inventory of the cat population in this village. Oh dear. Oh, that is a mighty number of cats.
I'm almost alarmed, really. All right. Well, I'm going to, as much as I was looking forward to coming up with my own prank, I think I'm going to show my prowess by, with nothing but my hands, releasing your spell. Which
describe how
I
what that looks
imagine
like.
would be startling. Right, and I'm being a little bit feckless in just doing this in front of you pretty early on in our association, but I'm just having too good a time, and there are really a lot of cats. All right, so watch this. Just need to think of the right thing. Deo Conoria. And the cats just sort of seem to lose interest and start like they're not repelled from him, because I don't want to repel the actual cat that he has put a spell on. All they are is released from the thing that drew them to him in the first place. And that's all. I just that little thing, and I figured out not only how your spell worked, but how to cancel it just with a word and a gesture.
Yeah, I think Ellie is kind of looking at you with quite a bit of astonishment, and he says, "Now that was as fine a piece of magic as I've seen in quite some time."
Well, thank you. I like to keep up with things and, study a bit here and there. And we don't all have kohl eyeliner and capes to rely on, so we seem mysterious.
Quite. You're putting my efforts to shame, Miss Linsome.
No, all I'm doing is trying to keep up, Ellie. This is fun. We should keep doing this. I'm sure there are plenty of people stumbling around in that hedge maze.
Oh, the cream of the crop, the cream of Habershire's crop is certainly out and about. I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure Mr. Willoughby doesn't need my services for quite some time.
I like watching you with your baton. Nobody around here seems to use that kind of magic. It's something very, like, soothing about the way you wave it through the air. I really quite like it. It's innovative. Did you come up with it yourself?
It's an innovation I can't claim for my own. It's merely something I've, well, perfected is a strong word. Definitely something I've iterated upon. But please, the same could be said for what you just displayed there, Miss Linsome. I'm not mincing my words when I say it is as fine as any bit of magic, maybe even more than I've seen in quite some time.
You're too kind, Ellie. It comes naturally to me somehow. But I appreciate the sentiment greatly, and maybe if I watch you closely enough, I can pick up on some of your baton magic, and we can trade techniques and take over this little Habershire with our non-traditional magics, or they'll like take us out and stone us to death outside the city walls. One or the other. It's bound to be an adventure.
Oh, between the two of us, I doubt they'd ever make it that far. Latter, would they? I doubt they'd
I will neither
be able to touch
confirm
us
nor
in any
deny
way.
that I might have defenses if I needed them. In any case, you should start thinking about your next spell. Someone could come along any moment. But instead, what happens is that a cat comes along
Yeah, the cat comes
and says,
in.
meow.
And I think at that point, James will appear behind the cat because he's found it again. He looks, well, he's lost his pin. He had several cats on him. He still got one actually in his one of his pockets. He's it's a little black
Is a
one.
cat in his pocket?
Yeah,
That's
kind
awesome.
of like a black tiny kitty. He wasn't released by the spell apparently. He's still got it in his pocket. He knows it's there. He's stroking it like you do when you have a kitten in your pocket and you're looking for something else.
As you do, indeed.
And he just then realizes that this is probably not the, oh well, whatever, he's curious anyway. And he says, excuse me, I believe we have not been introduced. I am looking for Miss Emma Linsome. Might you be she?
I just might. You are
I'm-
James Willoughby, yes?
Yes, I am. I'm quite charmed to meet you.
Enchanté.
Oh,
Remember, the two of you have met in dreams. Sorry, that's me out of the facility. It's reminding you met each other in
I
dreams.
think we established that we're often wearing masks in the dreams.
Oh,
so
yes,
we
yes.
don't recognize each other, but there would be we can feel each other, right? Wasn't that the mechanic?
Yeah, I think what is this, there's this weird feeling of familiarity, like we've met before or something, but I don't think we know where. But I have heard you are newly come to Habershire. Have you been here before?
I am new here. I hadn't been before I moved here, but I'd heard very good things.
Oh, it's a lovely place.
It seems like a lovely place. I've had nothing but positive experiences with everyone since moving here. It's, I think, in some ways a more progressive town than my old one. Everyone there only cared about money and inconsequential things, and not about substance. Here, you've got the college, and you've got the local witches association, and I've heard some other things, perhaps. And you've got hedge mazes. We had never had a hedge maze where I came from. So I think I quite like it here.
Oh, it's a good fun tradition with the hedge maze. There are all kinds of things in there that one has to overcome without using magic.
Without using, oh, I see. Yes, well, that sounds very challenging.
It is actually. Well, it's not. There's nothing in there that can hurt you. I'm pretty sure the swarm of cats just now was an accident.
It must have been. I think I saw a bunch of cats moving at one point. I mean, I'm outside the maze, so I don't know what was going on in there, but
It's probably just something in the maze.
It must be. There's some cat attracting potion has been cast by some feckless individual.
Well.
But
Well, it is quite well known that Habershire has a population of cats.
I think it's like we've met before, but obviously we haven't.
I had the same feeling.
Awfully familiar.
Yes, I had the same feeling, Miss Linsome. It's, well, maybe...
Perhaps our meeting here was meant to be.
I suppose it's
I mean,
possible.
I don't know what that means, but I just, like, you just seem very, very familiar and in a pleasant way. Like,
yeah.
I just can't quite put my finger on why.
Well,
but
maybe we should be better acquainted, Miss Linsome.
I'm looking
if you would
to
not mind.
meet all the people in the town, especially people of note like yourself. Your reputation precedes you.
Oh, and his face falls as you say that.
No, what's all this? I've heard you're very accomplished, and
yeah. I know what people are.
College, right?
Yes. Well, apparently you haven't heard all the things they say about me. I guess I am.
I think there's something about like a house that maybe there was some sort of mishap, but
there was a mishap. Yes,
it was. Make mistakes all
usually,
the time. I'm here to find a place where people don't judge other people based on a single element of their lives.
Usually they don't get somebody else. They don't lose somebody else's house in the process of making mistakes. And I was warned that that was maybe a bit dangerous. And I thought, oh well, I can do this.
I hardly think you're the first person in this town to try to do something after being warned not to and have it go wrong. That sounds like the story of every person who has been alive.
Well, yes, maybe, but I shouldn't have done it.
I'm sorry, it seems to still cause you trouble, though. Sincerely.
Thank you, Linsome. It's I should have been more careful. That's true. It's only sometimes, you know, when you do magic, it just gets away with me a bit.
There's so much magic. I feel like we draw upon it, and there's just so much power in the world to be drawn on. And I imagine we've all drawn more power than we intended to in our pursuits of magic. And the more seriously you study something, the more chances there are for those mishaps, right? Because the bigger the magic you try to do, the higher you climb, the farther you fall and all that. But I personally am not holding any house incidents against you.
I feel very relieved.
Yes, please don't give it a second thought. I'm here to meet people on their terms and my terms only, and not on anybody else's. I don't even know, who in this town is trustworthy and not yet, so why I shouldn't go believing any rumors. But yeah, I wish I could figure it out. There's something, that prickling at the back of your brain. There must be something.
Yes.
Oh, but where are my manners? I'm so sorry. Let me introduce you to my friend. You perhaps know each other. I think you're both associated with the college. So, James, have you met Ellie Wilson?
What was your last name, Ellie? No, Wilson. Oh, Mr. Wilson. I think we met a while ago, maybe. Some discussion in the rotunda.
Yes, I believe it was your father who introduced the two of us.
Yes.
And I do hope the musical accompaniment I provided for today's festivities have been satisfactory.
Quite lovely. It's an amazing. Personally, I appreciate music very much, even though I'm no great musician myself. But I love listening to it, and this music reminded me so much of Mozart. It was amazing. That movement.
There's just life in his playing, isn't there?
Yes, exactly.
I think
You
in
can
Mozart's
just
late works like the Requiem, where
yeah,
each piece, each part of it has such character. It's so
and you
evocative. It's what first
yes.
drew me to speak to Ellie, and that's actually how we became acquainted. It was at a parlor concert that I was invited to shortly after moving here, and Ellie played, and I was just so impressed. And then I found out he's a skilled magician as well.
Oh,
And I haven't been to visit the college, so I don't know much about it.
you
But
have not. You
I haven't.
should. Oh, you should. Please let me invite you to visit the college. It is an amazing place.
I mean, I would love to come see it. I'm always looking for new experiences, but I did join up with the local witches association when I got to town because it seemed like a good way to meet other people who enjoy, certain pursuits. And
Well,
I don't know if that's a problem.
I
Miss
do.
Linsome, the local witches association, it's certainly for the betterment of the community. But, and I'll attest to this, Mr. Willoughby, from what I've seen of your talents, Miss Linsome, you do well to cultivate them at a place that can.
Well, I would be very grateful to take you up on the
Maybe
invitation to visit sometime.
maybe you should meet my sister. If you met my sister Lydia Willoughby, she is quite an accomplished member of the college.
I don't think I have yet.
Well, might I introduce you?
I would be very grateful to make the introduction of
Well,
a.
then I think we can amble over to meet Lydia.
I think the cat follows us as well, and the
Yeah.
cat in your pocket is just quietly like,
Yeah.
like, and
James
occasionally I giggle to myself because I love cats.
James
And
takes it out absent-mindedly and starts like petting it.
who's this little one?
I have absolutely no idea, but it's quite nice, I think. Hello, who are you?
He's fond of you.
Yes, it seems friendly. I don't know. It came from the maze, so let's call you Minnie, like you're a minotaur.
Minnie. Out of character moment. I don't know if I would need a resolve token for this or if I can just ask if this could be a thing.
What's the thing?
I like the idea that I know I need to review our who's related to whom and how to figure out exactly who has fae stuff going on and who doesn't. I think it's pretty much everybody because almost everybody's related but me. As far as the main characters. Or like half siblings or whatever. But I think I'm full on fae blooded, and I think animals are friendly to me, if that's okay with all of you.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can't talk to them necessarily, but I think, I put my hand out and say, like, may I say hello to Minnie?
Of course.
And he is happy to sort of jump into my hands. And I just sort of pet him and whisper in his ear, like, hello, little one. And his purring is so loud that it's a bit startling because he's already been friendly, but clearly there's an affinity and his little tail kind of curls on my cheek. I think you found a lovely little companion and maybe you should keep this one with you. And I sort of reluctantly but happily send him back.
Yes, and I think James will arrive. We will arrive in the meantime with Lydia, and of course James is totally disheveled by now, has lost his pin, and has somehow acquired a little cat. But he's also acquired some company.
Can I ask that I insert a scene with Lydia and Cordelia before
sure.
gaggle gets here? Because we are running along. We'll probably close this novel phase fairly soon because we've been here in this chapter for an hour, and I do want at least could get Cordelia in. But okay, here's the idea. Cordelia kind of knows who her mom is. That doesn't mean she wants to talk to her right now, because it could just be awkward. So what Cordelia wants to do is she's going to cast a spell so that she's glamored, so that she doesn't look like Cordelia Stride to Lydia. Instead, she looks like her friend Clara, who's a journalist. So, so she has excuse to talk to Lydia. I'm going to pay a token. I don't want any drawbacks yet. There's enough shenanigans to be disguising as. Oh, Clara! I hope Clara's not going to figure this out. Yeah, so I'll pay a token to Yoshi, and you get to pick from the table.
It's early on. It's a romantic comedy, so I want to know more shenanigans. How does an unintended side effect occur?
Oh, yeah. This is technically this is Cordelia glamored as Clara, not Clara. But unintended side effect. Ooh. I think probably. 'Cause I'm trying to think of like some sort of vocal effect, just to make this a bit ridiculous. Oh, go on.
Maybe she's channeling a bit more of Clara than she intends to.
Yeah, but the thing is, I kind of want this to like, she's glamored as Clara, but she's not good at being Clara, and also to accidentally maybe kind of make Clara not look good to everyone else. So either, yeah, I think you probably either. I want some sort of vocal effect, some sort of silly, sort of. God. Yeah, I think maybe the unintended side effect is that I like the suggestion in the chat there that like there is some sort of feedback on Clara, so she's going to know who did it, like who glamored up as her, because Clara's probably not in this scene. That's why Cordelia is doing this. But yeah, that's an unintended side effect, is that there's feedback on Clara so that she'd know what Cordelia was doing. But yeah, what's Lydia doing as Clara finds her?
I think I've resumed sitting or probably standing like at a balcony or something, like not up high up, but like somewhere where I can looking over the hedge maze, because I'm watching my brother as he's going about doing his things, because I want to make sure that things come. And so that's what I'm doing when you come and distract me.
Yeah, I think yeah, Cordelia is trying to look confident like her friend, just flashy, striking. The first words out of her is like, Miss Willoughby, hello.
Yes, yes, Miss Harper. What can I help you with?
Oh, I was just here to ask for a few questions of yourself, Mr. Willoughby. After all, readers at and I think Cordelia is actually like, wait, what magazine is she writing for again? Of our publication would be terribly interested in what a woman of your stature and history would have to say about our society and all that.
And like you see me like sort of like at first I was like a little bit annoyed that you were coming up here, but then like my smile comes on as soon as you praise me a little bit, and I like turn and focus onto you, and I'm like, yes, somebody of my, and I like am smoothing out my dress and like of my importance. Yes, we're the Willoughbys here, and as my father is the head of the local chapter, it is upon us and our duty to make sure that this festival happens and that we can put on the fest, like make everything grand and perfect. And then I just like go on and just like start rambling about like minute details that really nobody's going to care about, but I will just keep going and going until somebody stops me.
Yeah, I think Cordelia is kind of not, mainly because I think in the middle of the ramble, she's like, oh shit, and she pulls into her dress, which also has pockets, scroll parchment's like, I should be writing this down, and I think she takes out like a quill that already has ink, because that's how magic works, and like taps a small crystal to it, and it just starts writing down like Rita Skeeter style. If we're gonna keep referencing Goblet of Fire, it's like, yes, I have noticed as the Willoughbys certainly put so much of themselves in this festival. But if you don't mind me asking, Miss Lydia Willoughby, what of your own efforts? I'm sure you speak for the family, but our readers of our publication would be very interested on your personal actions and history.
I'm like, and I think I look at you and I like lean in all conspiratorially, and I'm like, well, my father has been out of town, and so he has left the people in charge to be, well, originally it was supposed to be my brother James, but quite honestly, I have had to do most of the preparations here.
That's frankly, that is a frustrating and all too
It is
familiar.
nothing. It is what I do as a Willoughby. It is, as I said, our responsibility, and something that we hold dear to us, to be able to share our grandness with everybody.
But then surely, may I ask then, Miss Willoughby, that how Cordelia was trying to figure out how to phrase this question, and it's like having to make up for what your brother should be doing. Has this been frequent of late? We all know of what your brother has been accused of, and I'm sure what he's done won't stain the Willoughby family's name, especially if they have someone like you in at the helm.
You are quite astute. Yes, the things that my brother has done are something we are trying to move past, and I am doing everything that I can to make sure that the Willoughby name can move past those indiscretions that are so far behind that we do not need to concern ourselves about those things, because now is a new and different time, and we together, as I am working hard and diligent to bring the Willoughby name into something that is more well known and respected.
In her mind, Cordelia thinks, I want to be part of that name. Instead, she says, well, if I do say so myself, Miss Willoughby, that is quite a vision. And I hope I hope you carry that vision forward. And I think you probably hear like footsteps coming. Well, that's all I have for now. But if you don't mind me asking, if you prefer like a longer interview, and I'm sure again our readers of our publication would be very interested with seeing what a woman of today is and could be, if that interests you, ma'am.
Of course. I would be happy to host you for tea later this week, and we could discuss things in further.
Well, thank you very much for your hospitality, Miss Willoughby. And the doors can open. I'll let you get on with the rest of the day. I hope you have a tremendous time.
I look forward to our tea later this week.
Yeah, Cordelia curtsies, kind of scurries off. Doesn't say hello to the three that just walked in, and I think one's kind of like the one when she's all alone in the hallway. Her heart's all aflutter. It's like, my mom is so cool.
I think halfway through this little scene that we're going to do, I want to spend my monologue token because I want to hear what Cordelia thinks as she is overhearing this conversation, obviously.
Okay, cool. Let's overhear this conversation first.
Yeah,
So play. But I'll actually say, let's take a shorter break because again, top of the hour. Man, this novel chapter's gone for so long, but I love it. Y'all are great. So let's take 5 this time. All right. I think I'm kind of thinking like this scene is. Would you do you want all four of us to be in the scene? Or do you want just like the three main characters? Because honestly, like I don't know how much Ellie can add to this other than say, yeah, no, Miss Linsome's really cool. The Willoughbys are all right. Well, maybe
And
not that. Oh, go on.
go on, he's your contact.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if Ellie's not going to be in the scene, we should probably say goodbye and not just walk away from him. But I would
No,
imagine he would come along even if you weren't going to interact much, because we were all going to talk about the college.
yeah.
He was the first person to kind of suggest that I.
True. Yeah, I think he will be there just to make the connection. Like, yeah, no, but this lady is probably should be with the college. But yeah, okay, let's do this.
You're a
Yeah.
mysterious weirdo. You don't have to say too much.
Oh yeah, when you pass by when Cordelia as Clara passes by, I mean, most folks have like some hints of fey blood, but like when this girl passes by, you get the sense that like, Emma's probably like gonna get like a big, not a whiff, a pretty big sensation of like, oh, yes, yeah. And yeah, James, I think you're leading the pack here. Like this introduction to.
Wait, sorry, Leandro. Who gets the big sense of the other person, or do we both get a big sense?
I think you do. I don't think Cordelia does.
Okay.
Because she's too wrapped up in herself. She probably would have if she wasn't too busy mooning over her having met her mom.
That makes sense. I imagine that to someone in the know, I would sort of like reek of fayness. Like, not necessarily in a bad way. Reek sort of has a bad, but like, because I not only am full-blooded fae, but am clearly like practicing fae magic whenever I have the chance. I think that's like probably the biggest risk to my reputation in town at the moment, is that someone is going to sense that like, wow, she's like radioactively fae. That's not in our way of doing things. I mean, I don't know, but
I think James might have a sense, but he's not like he likes, actually, he has drawn a house into Fae, so I think he has some idea of how Fae works, but he's too polite to say anything, because that you don't do that. You don't ask people, hey, are you Fae, for instance. That's how you get cursed with an S's head.
well, and he, I imagine, because of the dreams, also like has a fondness for Emma, that even if he can't put his finger on why, he wouldn't want to like rat her out or embarrass her, at least till he figures out what the sense they've been sharing is. I mean, it's your character, but that's what I would imagine.
He is fascinated.
I'm rather fascinating.
Yeah, but now he has to do his duty and introduce you to his sister, his lovely sister, who will probably roll her eyes inwardly at the whole cat thing. But James comes up. Lydia, darling, may I introduce to you Miss Emma Linsome. Miss Linsome, might I introduce my lovely sister, Lydia? What's her last name? James knows what his last name is. Sorry. Willoughby. Lydia Willoughby.
And I nod, and like as you're approaching, like I'm like at first happy because like one, I was just talking about getting an interview and it's all about me and I'm super happy and beaming about it. And I see you and you're bringing somebody. I'm like, yes, this is great. And I'm like, your clothes are all messed up again.
What? You have a tiny cat.
Holding a cat. But like I like compose myself and like greet you, and then probably like what do you think like the greeting is? Do we shake hands? Do we curtsy towards each other? Like how do you think we would do this? Because I don't know.
I'm trying to think of like the like kiss in the air on either side of the cheek, especially like among women. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know if that would be on the first time you meet or like upon greeting a friend who you already know.
We do the appropriate greeting, and like
Yes.
Lydia does the appropriate greeting, and it's very to the T, like what you're supposed to do. Like it's very proper of this is how you do that thing. There's no, like, it's something that she does very well. It's very practiced.
And I think Emma picks up on that immediately, because Emma's new in town and watching everyone carefully to try to figure out where people's loyalties lie and who she can count on, and who she might get along with. And she is not very traditional. She is mischievous, and I mean, maybe it's the Fey blood, but so her immediate instinct about Lydia is to emulate while Lydia is around, and to probably not pursue like ongoing friendship, nor animosity. Like, she has no problem with Lydia being super proper, but she has a feeling that Lydia would not reciprocate that level of tolerance for difference. So she is also aware of the formal niceties and stands up straight, puts on her most polite Regency era stiff upper lip face, does the appropriate greeting, and says, "Lydia, my dear, it's so lovely to meet you. I just made the acquaintance of your brother, and he spoke so highly of you and your skills. And I'm delighted that I have the opportunity to make your acquaintance today."
It is wonderful. You're the new fascinating thing in town, and I just needed to find out, both for my own personal edification as well as our family, if you have heard the rumors, is quite high up in the College of Wizardry, and we're always looking for new talented individuals. And seeing that you're new here, and like you can see her like give you like sort of the like appraiser like once over like type thing, and then like smile because like you're imitating her, which makes her happy, and so she's like just like smiling and it's like, you seem to be one that could, I think, find a place at the college.
Oh, that's so kind of you to say. And goodness, I had no idea I was the new fascinating thing around here. I've only just arrived. I can't believe my reputation is already spreading in any way, one way or another. But thank you for the kind words. They are much appreciated. Ellie is the person who invited me to your fete here, and he'd been telling me about the college. And now I spoke to your brother, and he made the same comment. Now it's 3 of you in a row, and I really could hardly resist. It would be unkind of me at this point not to take all 3 of you up on your kind offer to at least come in and view the college. I've heard very good things around the town, and I consider the pursuit of the sort of arts that we all do to be a very serious thing, and not to be taken too lightly. So I was telling James over by the maze that I would be delighted to come down. I joined immediately when I got to town, the local witches association, because I, would like to just meet people in the town and hopefully, maybe do some good works around. And if you want to be part of a community, I think it behooves you to participate in that community. So as long as it's not a problem, which again, I was talking to James about this, and it didn't seem like it would be, for me to be a member currently of the Witches Association and visit the college, I would be thrilled to have a tour from any or all of you and see what you do there.
Of course. It's brilliant that you've already started to interweave yourself into the society here. But and like you can tell, like when she's talking about like the witches, like there's definitely a little bit of cold animosity that's going on there. And she like looks at James, like when you're making those comments, like talking to him about the witches, like, what is my brother saying? Type things. And I think as she continues on talking about it for a second, like she gets to the point and going back and is like, I mean, Habershire is a small town, and it's good that you're making yourself well known and acquiring the right sort of reputations, because it is fairly small, and those things can last a lifetime.
Yes, I know that there have been some incidents in town that seem to have stuck with people. I myself am the forgiving type. I don't like to take a single action of a person and then make that who they are for me. But I am very interested in integrating to the society here, as you said, and adopting the culture. And I would really, it would make me so very sad if I were to accidentally do something early on that caused people to get the wrong impression of me. I am so very new that I don't know much about any of the organizations in town or the college. I moved out here. I had some life circumstances change in my old town, and I felt like I needed a fresh place where I could really blossom into the woman I want to be. But I need the guidance of the people in town, like yourself and your family and Ellie here, in the know, to help me know where to go and what to do, to really meet the right people and do the right things. Because it's so easy when you are new to a place to hear on the street that this place is the happening place to be, and then all of a sudden you're in with the wrong crowd, and how do you escape those clouds? It's so difficult. But I wish people were more forgiving of that sort of thing, because I really do think that if someone is good-hearted, that should show through everything else ultimately. But first impressions can only be made once. So I am grateful for your counsel here
Bless
on
your
this.
Bless your kindness and generosity. If only more people could be like you and forgive those who have made follies in the past. But since you're new in town, I'm going to be having tea with one Clara Harper later this week. She works for the newspaper, and she wants to talk about like the festival and how the College of Wizardry. Might you want to join? And maybe you could tell the locals and broadcast more broadly, like why you are here. Maybe even make an announcement of a gala that you might want to hold.
Goodness, I don't know that I'm ready to be holding a gala just yet. I've barely met people, and I don't know the customs here, and I would hate to commit a faux pas, but I would be more than...
If you would want some kind of help or assistance, I could acquaint you with the right sort of people who might help you set up this. I mean, if I'm not presuming too much. Sorry, I will just...
No, you don't apologize. Come now, you've thrown this lovely fete. I'm having a wonderful time here. Clearly, your family throws delightful gatherings, and I would be...
was Lydia's, actually. Only the waiters there. Most of them.
Well, then, Lydia, I must congratulate you, and say that it would be, the best luck I could have to even have guidance from yourself and your family on how to throw such a delightful endeavor. I think that that perhaps throwing a gala is a bit much for a newcomer in town, but I would love to maybe just chat with you more and maybe help with some of your social functions and see the college. And then as soon as I get a real feel for how to do things around here, perhaps I could make such an attempt. But especially so soon after this wonderful event, I would just be lying in the shadow of greatness, and I have no desire to have comparisons drawn. I'm sure I would be found wanting.
Such grace and skill with your words. Of course, I would be honored to help you out with anything that you could see. Perhaps just tea later this week, and as you become more acquainted, we'll plan something. Like you said, you can only make a first impression once, so we better work together to make it the right one.
You're really too kind. I'm so grateful. I would love to have tea. And James, thank you so much for introducing me to your lovely sister.
Of
What
course.
kindness! Your whole family so far just seems tremendously kind. Um, Ellie, don't you just think this is the loveliest thing? I feel so lucky right now.
All this time, yeah, Ellie has just been standing in the background, just
Thought I might mention before we
yeah.
forgot him.
No, he's deliberately kind of like stepped up to like let the people in power have talk. But when you kind of bring it up and says, yes, the Willoughbys certainly are a national treasure to Habershire.
Yes, a treasure indeed. Um, and Ellie, thank you so much for inviting me to this. You know, I would be so sad to be missing what surely must be the gala of the year. I mean, this like the amount of effort that must have gone into building the hedge maze and all of the animated waiter coterie and all of that. I mean, truly, nothing was spared in terms of effort or expense, it seems, and I would never have even known. So, Ellie, thank you so much for the invitation, and then James and Lydia, thank you so much for being so welcoming. It really makes me feel like I made the right choice in moving to Habershire.
You're very welcome here, Miss Linsome. It's lovely
Thank
to have
you.
you. And I hope we will meet each other soon.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we'll all be fast friends before you know it.
I hope that too.
Thank you. And I think maybe this is the time where like I'll spend that monologue token to like it fades out from us and then goes towards Cordelia as she's overhearing this conversation of her mother and this other person. So I want to hear what Cordelia is thinking about hearing all of this praise and lavish properness of the family.
All right. So yeah, we go to the hallway, and I think the glamour is faded, and she's not so much just listening and just letting her heart calm down after doing that, and just kind of just hearing all that praise. And I think the first thought in her head is that maybe I should have revealed myself then. Maybe I should have revealed myself then, because clearly my mother is such a figure, such a indomitable, amazing, just someone who she's amazing. She was a delight. She's so smart and just forward thinking in so many ways. I know if I told her the truth then and there, she'd accept me, right? A woman of such caliber would forgive whatever tricks I pulled on her, because she has to. Otherwise, no. I feel I should have been more confident. She would accept me there. I knew it. She would accept me then, but no. Be patient, Cordelia. Just lay a few more pieces. Just be patient. Make sure it's at the right time. Still, at least I know. I came from someone great, someone amazing. I think that's when she calms down and like realizes where she is and just like slips away. All right. Yeah, I think we've been here for a while. We need to wrap up this novel phase. And again, things, we don't have to like minutely go to like day by day. So we just like can skip in and skip out. And we have been here a while. I'd like to at least get to the start of the epistolary before we end this session. Is that okay, folks?
Mhm.
Cool. All right. So our phase is done. Up next is reputation. Wrong tab. Nope. Is it reputation? Yes, reputation. So what we're gonna do here is if you go to your family background sheet, you'll see the reputation criteria, and I'll let you all read amongst yourselves what would happen, what needs to happen to gain a positive or a negative tag. And I think I'm right in saying you can only get like one positive and one negative. You can get a positive and negative, but you can only get one per reputation phase.
So can you get one positive and one negative, or just one?
Yeah, I think the first one. Yeah, you can get one positive and one negative. I don't think you can get two positives. And you can also get none as well if you don't think you did what you 0, 1, or one of each. I think. Oh, no. I think I got a negative tag. I acted on desire in a way that compromised my duty or morality, and I would have gotten away with it if there had been no side effect. But somebody knows what I did. For the car, so I'm going to get irresponsible.
Where is? I think I
Look at
don't
family.
quite. Right above the reputation criteria are the actual tags.
Yes.
Sorry, I just couldn't figure out where the tags were to like pick one. I'm having a bit of trouble figuring out. I'm thinking for the negative, acted in contravention of society's conventions by like using my fey magic in front of Ellie. Even though I think Ellie's trustworthy and I'm not actually worried about it, it is technically not.
Yeah, but the
what
thing
is done, right? So
yeah.
would that be strange or uncouth?
Strange. I don't think you were uncouth.
Okay. And in the reputation tags, is there a reason that some of them are pink?
Because something happens when you get the third.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So I'll put. Did you say strange?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. This was one of the things that when I was reading about them, I felt like I didn't get a clear picture quite of how to determine. As far as the positive, I mean, I would like to give myself a positive tag as well, but like I don't know about duty or morality or conventions, but I definitely acted much more proper and whatnot than I would have otherwise because I sensed Lydia's demeanor.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that fits any of the things.
Yeah, I don't think you compromised your desires or acted despite considerable hardship in doing so. I think you fit in surprisingly well. Very well. Everyone was courting you.
That's kind of nice. It's really a change from real life. Not that I said that live on camera. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're live.
Oh.
Hello, viewing audience. I'm definitely not perpetually single and bitter about it at all.
Join the club. All right, everyone else, your reputation?
Yeah, well, I embarrassed the family name, I guess, with the whole cat shenanigans. Weren't my fault, but that's just James. He's just not, what's the word? Not polished is the wrong thing. Careless, I guess, something like that.
Yeah, you can make up your own tag if it's not on the list.
Yeah, I think careless is a good one.
Can I make up a positive tag if it's not on the list?
No. Oh, if you get one, you can make up one. But
I was careful in front of Lydia, but that's the opposite of how I was in front of Ellie. I'm like My reputation things, like in order to get a positive one, I would have to like.
Yeah. No. Because
They're
again,
like
this isn't
really
like
kind of harsh.
how. Yeah, because this is how society see how society will see it. Because they're your reputation, how you be known as society looks at you. So that's why the criteria is quite a bit harsh, and it is fine. It's fine to like not get either. That could happen.
Okay.
What do you
Well, I
see?
definitely get the
Oh,
negative
oh,
one, I think.
yes. Sabine, sorry.
I've got a question about the positive tag because I actually would have rather stayed and talked to Emma, but I had to introduce her to my sister because that was what was expected of me. I don't know if that works or if that's harsh enough.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Okay.
I don't think it was clear.
Okay. No, it's okay. I was wondering, just like, yeah, wasn't really a sacrifice.
Yeah, for me, I don't think Lydia sacrificed anything for getting a positive tag. If anything, I think she might get a negative tag for both sharing and confirming gossip to Clara that her brother did do something bad and confirmed it, and just
Quote
general,
unquote Clara.
yeah, and general like sort of like the subtle burns but like in mockery towards her brother throughout conversation and everything. I'm just not really believing in him, so I think I might take the um a negative tag, and I think it might be like maybe
Snippy.
yeah, snippy or proud. Yeah, snippy is good. I like snippy. Wait, I got strange too. Oh,
Where'd you get strange?
No, I think that maybe is on the wrong tag, just on the wrong character.
But I put it, I might have done that.
I think that
I'm really
belongs,
bad with Google Sheets.
that belongs to Emma.
Oh yeah, sorry.
just-
Absolutely.
Put it over there. There it is. See?
Yeah.
Not strange by yourself. It didn't mean it like that.
I am strange and often by myself, so I can't even think of that.
Okay. All right.
What about Cordelia? Did she?
Oh, she got a negative. I think I said at the start.
Yeah,
Yes.
all right. Responsible. Nice.
Yes, and all right. So reputation also figures out your faction's influence. Faction influence is calculated after completing major character reputation using the following 5 steps. So, right. Tally up the impact of the leader and member's behavior as indicated below. For each positive reputation tag gained by a faction member +1, did anyone gain a positive tag? No, he did not. Cripes. For each negative reputation tag gained by faction member -1. And our leaders didn't show up, so I'll skip the rest. All right. If the total is positive, add 1. If the total is negative, subtract 1. Okay, so both our factions are gonna get -1 because we all we all acted in ways that society would be like,
We're all terrible people.
Oh. Yeah. Let's see. We'll get there. All right. So.
I got a cat.
Okay. So local witches association goes from. Let's see. I'll sort all that out later. There's something up with the tables. All right. Let's move on to rumor and scandal. But anyway, the reputation kind of messes with decrees and whatnot. We'll get to that again when I've reread that section. But for now, we're not doing decrees because leaders aren't here. So let's do rumor and scandal. So rumor and scandal is, as said there, we shall spread rumors about Habershire and its inhabitants and whatnot. This is, by player, not by character. So could be like outlandish stuff like the the Willoughbys are running an illegal ambrosia smuggling ring. I don't know. Hopefully we'll tie it to what's happening, but that could be something. So we'll each get 2 actions. One is to, and we can either create a rumor or spread one that's created. Let's go by the order of the character keeper, and we'll circle back. So Yoshi, do you have any rumors?
Clearly, James Willoughby is planning some gigantic event to regain his reputation, and has been scheming with anybody who would listen to him.
Cool.
Ooh, can I ask a clarifying question about your? So, the event that just happened, is that
Yes.
like people are considering it to be a warm up to this
Yeah, that sounds great.
upcoming one? Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. James Willoughby is planning some big storm to rescue his reputation. Cool. Next, Pearl, do you have like a rumor? Or you can spread the rumor that was just created.
I think. I mean, does every player have to do one?
Yeah, you can either create a rumor or you can spread an existing one.
Okay,
What
but
that
you can't
means?
just not do a rumor, right?
You can choose to not do it. If you spreading one means you just say it's spread. Like we're just gonna click a button. That's what that means.
I don't think I would want to spread that. I think I have liked James so far and don't get the impression at all that he's planning on throwing like some big, like I just spoke to him and Lydia, right? So
yeah. Well, the thing is, think about this phase outside of the characters, whereas we're players here, like trying to like tell
so
the most interesting story.
So Emma wouldn't be directly spreading the rumor. It's just that it spreads further in town.
Yeah.
Then I totally further that rumor.
Okay, cool. So what that means is that rumor can now be used as a resolve token. That's what spread rumors are.
I think it would be hilarious if now James had to throw an even more epic gala than the one that Lydia just put together. So, like Emma's much too nice to like push things in that direction, but like I, as a player, am much too in looking forward to watching that unfold. Not to.
Let's have a party in Arcadia. Oh wow!
All right, Sabine, do you have any rumors?
I think I will spread. I will create a rumor that. I think the rumor is maybe that the fairies of the local fairies are having an interest in the Willoughby family. It's unclear in who. Maybe in Lydia, maybe in James, or maybe in one of the parents. But they have an interest in the Willoughby estate. So it could be anyone.
Cool. Local they have interest in the Willoughby estate.
Maybe it's the next house to go into fairy.
Maybe. I'll create a rumor that Emma Linsome is on the run from a curse that was put on her from where she came from. Again, these rumors don't have to be true. They're just there.
I didn't know you could run from a curse.
Well, she's trying, as is the rumor saying.
Imagining like a personified curse that's just like loping along the highway, trying to figure out which direction I went. And I'm like, you'll never catch me, curse! But that's probably not what you meant.
Good. I don't know. like I said, it doesn't have to be true.
I'm just being a goof. Please ignore me. I haven't slept
it's
ever.
A fun goof. Let's circle back to Yoshi. Do you want to spread a rumor or create one?
Yeah, I'm going to spread another rumor about Emma Linsome. It's completely the opposite, and this is what's confusing people: is that Emma is clearly a hidden member of royalty and is out and about, and so that is why she is so mysterious, is because she is trying to keep that hidden royalty under wraps.
It's not true, but it still thwarts my plans and curses. Curse you, Yoshi. But that does throw a wrench in the works very, very well. Excellent.
Nice. All right, Pearl. Do you want to create a rumor or spread one of those? We got 3 at the moment that aren't spread yet. And rumors that aren't spread in the next rumors phase will start fading.
I would like to spread a rumor that the college is this sort of based lightly in fact, but I'm going to overblow it a bunch. That the college is planning on finding out who has any real magical ability at all in the local witches association, and recruiting them to the college until the association just has to collapse because there aren't any skilled practitioners left, which hopefully will fuel some extra animosity. How are the fairies stretchable?
Association.
Hearts of Woolen, sorry.
Oh, I know what Hearts of Woolen is. But I just have not been using the acronym, apparently. I was like, how? Because of the capitalization.
All right. Sabine, your turn. Do you want to create a rumor or spread one?
I think I want to spread one because we have lots of rumors. I think I want to spread the rumor with a curse. I love that.
Cool. I think I'll spread the college one. Can't be all about Emma. I want to spread the royalty one, but no. I can have one rumor. Can't be 2. Okay.
I thought about writing one about Percy, because he's not here, trying to explain why no one's seen him in a while. But I don't know, because he's not here to I wouldn't want to do it without his consent. But perhaps next time a rumor could be created about why he was gone, and then he could have some input on that.
I like that.
Yeah. Next time, yeah.
Given that his parents disappeared mysteriously searching for the, what was it? The Grail or something like that?
Philosopher's Stone.
The Philosopher, of course it was. Yes.
All right. We have 20 minutes left. Do you think we can do epistolary?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Cool. Let's do it.
Can I ask a quick question before we go on to that phase?
Go on.
Okay, so we've got our 2 factions that are actively in play, which are the college and the local wizarding association, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the order, which is the hidden one.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if nobody picks the other 2 factions, they're not going to be mechanically in play. They might be around, but since they're not going to actually affect anything.
Well, that's kind of why I'm asking, because I think at the beginning you said we were only going to have the 2. And so we picked 2. But if I'm full-blooded Fae, it seems to me that I would at least be checking out the otherworldly one or whatever it was called. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, you can check out otherworldly beings, but they just won't be a faction. There won't be a force, because there are mechanical stuff that goes on with the factions, stuff degrees. That doesn't mean they don't exist, but they're just not going to be a unified force.
I definitely got the feeling that Emma would want to join that if it did agree, or if it did exist, because she could pick up some cool magic tricks there. So that was what I was asking, was whether I could be secretly a member of 2 different factions, right? With the one that nobody knows about. But
well, we didn't pick those, so all right.
Totally fine.
Okay, epistolary. Simple enough. Yeah, you have 2 letters. You can write them from your main character or from any connection you control. Yeah, anyone have a letter?
I would like to write a letter to Miss Emma Linsome. Well, James would like to write a letter to Miss Emma Linsome. In this letter, James will excuse his forwardness because we are only fleeting acquaintances. And if you feel that this is at all improper, he invites you to shred this letter, consign it to the flames, or give it to a bird to build its nest upon. But if you were so inclined to hear his unworthy and undoubtedly clumsy words, he would love to invite you to a stroll along the countryside, maybe even in a whatever those little coaches are called that you would stroll around the countryside in. He knows the word, I don't. Yes, that's my letter. There will be a bit more in it about art and about music because that's something he actually enjoys. But I'll spare you the details.
Now, in the epistolary phase, I read about it, but I don't remember. Are we supposed to respond to letters we get, or okay?
If you want to, but that'll count to the 2 letters you got. You don't have to respond, but if you want to.
I mean, I think I would respond eventually, but I don't think I want to respond right away.
Yeah, you can respond in later letter writing phases. You could respond just by bringing it up in the next scene later on. If there's something very quick, you can use it as like an intro to like have like a very, very quick scene. Like if there's a specific question that you want to like answer, but we don't want like full lots of scenes there. So you can do a lot of little things with it.
Okay.
What seems necessary.
It's more, this invitation is more of a setup for a next novel phase where we could actually have this walk. You don't need to respond. If we don't have this walk, there's something, it's raining or whatever, and if we do, you obviously responded positively.
Okay.
Yeah, and additionally, the walk could happen. It just doesn't show up on scene. Like we get to the next letter writing phase, and even if the walk never happened, you're like, oh, it was so lovely to go on that walk with you last week or whatever.
Cool. Okay. That all makes sense. Then I'd like to write a letter to Hattie. Hattie Mutton Chop, my best friend from home. So it begins with, "Oh, Hattie," and it's the O without the H, well, the old school style. "Oh, Hattie, life here in Habershire is just full of excitement and intrigue. I wish you could see it. And I've really been having a lovely time going to social engagements and meeting people, and I actually just went the other day to this lovely midsummer fete at the home of one of the prominent families here, the Willoughbys. And I got to meet 2 siblings in the family who are very, they're associate. I haven't quite gotten the picture of how that association works with, but they're definitely heavily entangled with the College of Wizardry here, which I'm starting to get the sense that perhaps there's some sort of recruitment effort, because when Ellie first brought it up, I thought he was just making conversation. I'm sure you remember Ellie from my last letter, and I'll tell you more about him in a minute. Things are just, there's too much to say and there's so little time. Oh, I wish you were here so much. You know, I think moving was the best thing I could have done, but I would do anything to have you here with me experiencing all of this, Hattie. It's just too much. At the fete, Ellie and I, we started to pull pranks on people in a hedge maze. And did you know he has a way of doing magic with a conductor's baton, like a musician? I didn't even know that kind of magic existed. And you know that I like to investigate alternative forms of magic. So I think I'm going to have to try to find a way to get him to teach me. And I have to admit, I do enjoy his company, Hattie. And I know before I left town, I said that I was going to wait like a whole year before even letting a suitor approach me to make sure that no one was going after my inheritance and this, that, and the other thing. But between the music and the magic and the, you know, cape and all of it, I I don't know, Hattie. I'm not good with self-control. I think it's the Fae thing. Yes, Hattie knows. Um, uh, but I'm a bit of a hedonist. You know how I am, and I don't know. Well, I'll keep you posted. But I also met this family, like I said, and the older brother, I think he is James, seems like such a sweet man, but I get the impression that perhaps in this town, much like ours, one thing can make or break a person to some degree. He seemed so easily discouraged and self-doubting based on some incident with the house that happened before I even moved here. It actually made me quite sad, because he's a lovely fellow and he clearly didn't mean to do this thing. And I think I'll try to befriend him a bit and maybe lift his spirits. And if I can try to impress upon other people, perhaps I could improve his situation a bit. I also met his sister Lydia, who is a very skilled magician, I think. I had not. They the people serving the refreshments at the fete, it was just like clothing and armor animated to be like people. I mean, I'm the last person to accuse anyone of like black magic or sorcery, but I will say that I was almost taken aback at the level of skill that must have taken. So I have a very high level of respect for Lydia, but I also get the impression that she's quite by the book and might not approve of my less traditional habits. You've seen them. Very few people have, but I know you know what I'm talking about. So I'm making sure to put on my most proper English, definitely fully human face when she's around for now. I'm hoping I'm wrong, actually, and that she'll turn out to be much friendlier overall, but I think I need to play it safe for now, which I was hoping I wouldn't have to feel that. But in any case, it's certainly a lot of excitement meeting the important people in the town, and I have a suitor, and we played with new forms of magic, and there was a kitten, and it was so cute, and I got to hold it in my hand, and it made the cutest little meow noises. And oh, Hattie, I just miss you so much. I'll stop rambling. I could write to you for days. But please write back soon and tell me what you think. Tell me what you think I should do about Ellie, and tell me, do you have any impressions from what I've said of this Lydia? What do you think I should do? Should I befriend her? Should I, but like still try to act more proper? Should I be myself and take the risk? Should I avoid her? Have you heard anything? I don't know if people's reputations spread from here. I just don't know. Without you as my guide, I feel lost. Do write back with so much love and affection and gratitude for your undying friendship. Yours ever, Emma.
Do you have one, Leandro?
I got an idea for one to Clara from Cordelia. I think probably Cordelia has an idea of like what. I think she knows what the side effect was. So the letter is gonna be like, dearest Clara, I feel I owe you an explanation or two. But before we get this explanation, which I very much believe your incisively sharp mind has already figured out, let me talk to you about destiny. Destiny, as we studied, is a curious thing. It is meant to cast people in certain roles, put them in certain paths. And for those who are put in fortunate paths, well, then destiny is as a concept is quite agreeable to them. But what of those who are put in paths that they find less than agreeable? Well, then simply it is their duty to break away from that path, surely. It is their desire to move on to other paths, yes? And would not want to do anything in their possibility to break away. And would anything be permissible in that path? With that in mind, my dearest Clara, I do wish to offer my sincerest apologies for that shock you received in the past few days. It was merely a jape, merely a nothing as serious as breaking away from destiny. It was merely a spell gone awry. I hope that I have not given you any form of malignant side effects. I hope you're well. Unfortunately, I'm quite busy over here at Habershire in the year of our Lord 18. We'll figure out the year later. Sorry, I was trying to figure out the year in the middle of the letter. Quite busy in Havershire. You need not. While it has been a while since we have met, I'm sure you're quite busy with your work, and I'm quite busy with my tutoring. So I hope to see you soon. But alas, work swamps us both, I'm sure. Hope you're well. Yours always, your friend, Cordelia.
I definitely think Clara writes back, but I don't know if it's my turn in like the order or if I can do two. So
I'm going to go first and then you can go because
Okay.
I want to do one from Serena Gray, who is writing to Thomas Willoughby, who is not here right now. So you can listen and find out about this letter. But it's basically, Dear Thomas Willoughby, I am sure that you have heard the rumors, and being the proper, upstanding head of the local college of Blizzardry, and also the father of James, I'm sure you're going to take it upon yourself to make sure that any large scale magical events that your son might be trying to do to redeem his reputation come into check and that the proper precautions are followed, seeing as the last time he tried such a thing did not go so well, as my house is still missing. I would like to make sure that you are aware of these rumors, because surely they must be just rumors, because otherwise any plans would be squashed. Your friend, Serena Gray.
Oh, wow. I wanted to write to Serena anyway. I think this is not, let's say, I think James is quite unaware of the letter Serena has written to his father. And he will write not a very long letter. It is, well, I think maybe we are back to last names because that's only proper. So he will write, Dear Miss or Mrs., are you married, Serena? Probably are.
Probably, sure.
Probably. Dear Mrs. Gray, please allow me to congratulate you to your victory at the hedge maze at our gala. I hope you have recovered from the gavoting tent. It was only, I did not expect you. No, wait, he'll strike that through. He'll start again. I hope you have well recovered from the exertion. Yes, full stop. Please know that the tent's enthusiasm was unforeseen, but I seemed to remember that you quite liked the gavotte. And I hope, and I am told that you were remarkably excellent at it. In another point, I was attacked by a horde of cats in the hedge maze. I hope you found the effects quite hilarious. I believe so did many others. I have now a very nice young companion, a little black cat that I call Minnie, which is brief for Minotaur, and I am sorry I am rambling, but I will write this letter because you won't answer anyway. And now I will destroy this letter because that is uncalled for. So you start again. with the whole. It's a bit. It will come out a bit more polished in the end, but it has salient points. Are congratulations, tent, gewahrt, cat, and yes.
That was delightful. Thank you. So I think I would like to write back to Cordelia as Clara. And it's just going to start with Cordelia and a dash, like no greeting, right? You know, I've always said you were wasting your potential being a tutor, and that you really could do bigger things for yourself. And so to hear you going on and on about fate and meeting your destiny and this, that, and the other thing, as a precursor to sort of casually mentioning having changed me into you in the middle of an outing I was on the other day, I'm going to admit is a bit insulting. It's like using my own rhetoric to justify having completely embarrassed me in front of one of the most important people in a story I'm writing right now in my publication. And you know, I would like to think that in the year 18 Humpty Dumpty, that you would be able to be brave enough to see that. I mean, I'm hearing the news from Haberford. Sure, Habershire, your town, and you know, I'm hearing that Lydia Willoughby has thrown an amazing fete with a hedge maze and animated servants, but like just their clothes and armor wandering around, and I mean just fantastical things. There was something about a herd of cats that I don't know if I believe that rumor. It sounds just out of character for the whole situation. Regardless, though, I'm hearing more about Lydia and even about this new woman in town, Emma. Emma Linsome. Apparently, she's making some waves. You know, and she just got there, and you've been there for so long, and you're so talented. And what are you doing with this talent? You're tutoring a snotty man child and changing yourself into me, I think, without even realizing that it's backfiring in another I mean, get yourself together, woman. For God's sake. Like, you could be doing great things. Like, you quit the Witches Association and go to the college, apply yourself to your studies a bit more, and make a name for yourself, for God's sake, and leave me out of it. Now, I'll end the letter. I do want to say that, of course, I still have affection for you, and we'll always be friends. I love you very dearly, and I'm only so harsh because I want the best for you, and also because I really was quite mortified. Please do not ever do that again. But mainly, I do want to say that I adore you, and it is out of love that I say that you must want more than the provincial life that you're leading. There must be more for you. Don't you want adventure? In the great wide somewhere? Don't you want it more than you can even tell? I think you do, and I think you're capable. So next time you want me involved in your magic, how about you just invite me out to visit the town and we do something extravagant together? And I'll forgive this one-time indiscretion regardless of how mortifying it was and how it might affect the article I was attempting to write. And we'll move forward from here as always, fast friends and with much affection and love, if a bit of frustration. Your dear companion from Oxford, Clara Harper.
Yeah, Cordelia doesn't deserve Clara as a friend. Okay, we are up time. So what I'm going to do is I have one last letter. I'm going to save it for next. I'm going to kick off next session with that instead. It's a letter from Ellie to Emma. So I'll save that for another time.
Why would you tease me with that? Why would you know? You did it on purpose. I can tell.
Why would I tease you that? I think you know the answer. So I'm gonna stop the broadcast here. Thanks very much.
Spite, Leandro.
You don't know where I live. All right, stop this broadcast. I'll see y'all. I say see y'all. I see y'all YouTube.